Ladies and gentlemen, what it do, baby? It's realBluTV, and this was the final qualifier of the EU and NA Rogue Company CMG $8,000 main event. We now have all 16 teams set in stone for this event on the 9th and 10th of January, but let's talk about this last qualifier being number 8, which determined our 15th and our 16th seeding team. First round was pretty, standard. The good teams advanced, the teams we've never heard of, or teams that just showed up and, we've never heard of them. They didn't make it through. But round 2, we saw some interesting matchups. Scavs or PMCs were able to beat We Not Fit. We Not Fit is one of those teams we've seen a few times in the qualifiers already. That's Cobalt, Iota, FKEK, and Ham. Ham being their newest player to the CMG scene as well. They ended up losing to Scavs or PMCs, and that's a team of people that we've seen and known. That's Sat, Fathom, Geo Royals, and Crump. So that lineup was able to keep themselves alive and move on to round 3. We also seen Team Humble. They lost to DevilMayCry. Team Humble is another one of those teams that we've seen a bunch of times throughout the qualifiers. Humble being a couple people that we've seen a few times, but not really too much of a sample size to really gauge how they play. Meanwhile, DevilMayCry, who moved on to round 3 after this matchup, was Gringo Jr., Losi, Crixium, and Elvin Calderon. 4 names that we've seen a lot of and know that they can play some good Rogue Company. We also saw Noble Esports, who showed up a few times in the qualifiers. They lost to 3Head. 3Head being the team which is a pickup team apparently with Ren, Creed, Trippy, and Shocker. We've seen a lot of Ren. We've seen a lot of Shocker, excuse me. Over on Noble Esports, some people that we know. Well, we've seen the team before on paper, but we haven't seen them play. There is one member, Tykins. We have seen them play in Paladins before, or at least I have. Another matchup that was pretty surprising in the 3rd round was Eric Gonna Getcha up against JLP Esports. Well, if you've been watching, you probably thought Eggy was going to win because Eric Gonna Getcha with Sir James Parker, Feel, Emit Pain, and Anteater, aka Delana, always looked really good when we've seen them, especially on the CMG streams. They've made it really far into the brackets as well, but they ended up losing to JLP Esports, a team we've never seen before. We've got Vegito, Ryu, Rydeth, and Volzy. 4 names we've never seen, never heard of, and we still haven't seen them. And we won't see them in the main event. They didn't qualify as they lost in the very next round, but they were able to beat Eric Gonna Get You. So maybe next time there's a tournament, we look out for those 4 players and see what they're really about. We also saw Status Quo beat Team Slept On. Status Quo making a return to the qualifiers. They've been MIA for a few. And that would be OG, Flamesword, and Quickscope, aka QKSP. This time they brought in Hizzy and Liddy. Liddy being one of those players that we've seen dozens of times. Hizzy, we've only seen once or twice, I believe. I could be wrong. Not to be confused with iHoppies, by the way. We also saw Airborne Gaming and Flex. They went up against each other. Flex won that match, and Airborne Gaming, one of those teams we've seen show up in the qualifiers over and over again, but just cannot find a way to get into the quarterfinals, and again they fall short. We saw Aqualix Roco make another return to the bracket. They moved past round 2. Brave Chimpanzee went up against Done Out Here, a roster we've seen a few times. Axe Cheats, Player GK, Squashy, and Baku. They were able to beat Brave Chimpanzee, which is Versatile, Vapor, Jeek, and Sensei Laz, being 4 players. Different players than what we've seen on the Brave Chimpanzee 4959 squad before, but still a decent squad. They weren't able to beat Done Out Here. Samurai 8K also won their round 2 matchup, as well as Vital Effort and Rogue, another one of those teams that we've seen on paper a bunch of times, and Brain being the most notable player on that Rogue team. Moving into round 3, we saw DevilMayCry up against Scavs or PMCs, and that was an interesting matchup. It went 3 games, I believe, but DevilMayCry was the team that won. They had the better attack on Icarus. They played the Scorch Dahlia combo better, even when they were against the Scorch on that map. They also played Lockdown very well. And didn't play Fixer much, but Gringo Jr. on the Seagrid played exceptionally well throughout the entire night. And we'll get a little bit more into that, as they did make it pretty far into the tournament. We saw 3-Head take down JLP Esports, who were the ones who took down Eric Gonna Get You, but 3-Head moves on. Flex, one of those teams that we've seen make it to the quarterfinals and now is trying to make it to the semifinals. Here in round 3, they beat Status Quo. That was something possibly didn't see coming, since we've never seen Flex play. We've just seen how far they've gone in the brackets on paper. Aqualix Roco were able to win their matchup. Done Out Here beat Samurai 8K. Rogue and Vital Effort, they also moved on. So into the quarterfinals, we got DevilMayCry versus Bleacher Boys. We didn't watch that game on CMG, but DevilMayCry was the winner there. 3-Head versus Flex. 3-Head was the ones who were going to advance. We didn't watch that one. Vital Effort was the ones who beat Rogue out of the EU scene, so we again didn't watch that one. The one we did watch was Aqualix Roco versus Done Out Here, and Aqualix Roco on High Castle looked much better at first in the first couple rounds, but then after that, Done Out Here pretty much took over. They gave up 1 or 2 rounds afterwards in a combined game 1 and game 2, but they ended up winning those both pretty dominantly in that second game as well, and they move on to the semifinals. Now, in the semifinals, we saw DevilMayCry 7-0 3-Head, and then pretty much 7-0 them almost. I think it was 7-4 in the second game. The first game was, I believe, on Factory, and the attack rounds from 3-Head were tragic. They did not look good at all. Their defense was a little slacking too. They just look like they don't practice Factory. They look like they weren't prepared to play that map, and it really showed in their gameplay, both on defense and attack. Meanwhile, on Vice, it was a different story. On defense, they were up 4-2 going into the half, and 3-Head looked really good on Vice. But then once they had to swap to the attacking side, well, that's when things started to fall apart, and DevilMayCry pretty much took over. Didn't allow 3-Head to win another round, and they win 7-4. With 5 straight victorious rounds for themselves. So DevilMayCry moved into the grand finals and qualified themselves. Then Done Out Here versus Vital Effort. Vital Effort got to go into the next round because somebody on Done Out Here was discovered to be evading a ban by playing on a different account. But they were caught. I don't know if they were caught using the same email to sign up on CMG, or maybe they were caught IP-wise. I don't know. I don't know the specifics. I don't know the logistics. That's not my job. I just talk about people shooting each other, okay? And speaking of shooting each other, we're going into the grand finals. It's Vital Effort versus DevilMayCry. This was a 2-0 in favor of DevilMayCry, so they will be your 15th seed in the main bracket. First map was Icarus, and again, DevilMayCry. They played that beautifully. I think they won 7-1. Maybe it wasn't a 7-0. It could have been a 7-2, but I am fairly certain it was a 7-1. They looked dominating. I think Lockdown was a 7-1 as well. On Icarus, they used Scorch, and they used her beautifully, even on their rotations towards B. They even went B a few times and still were able to dominate. Map 2 on Lockdown, they played Secret on attack, went B, and pretty much took what they wanted. They went B twice in a row, so effectively pushed the defense back into their own spawn. So the third round they go A, and the fake was beautiful. Crixium on the Lancer was doing well at the same time, and Elvin really showing how great of a player he has become over the past few weeks, bouncing around on teams, especially on the Dahlia and the Talon, which he played pretty much the entire night, and pretty well, to say the least. So now we can go ahead and take a look at the bracket. We've got a little update for you on that 13th and 14th seed. RRXD will be your 13th seed now, and Clam and the boys, who lost in the semifinals to a team that was DQ'd for cheating. Apparently, 2 players were confirmed that they had wall hacks. One of them had aimbot as well, and the one that had aimbot and wall hacks apparently was a Smurf account of someone who was previously banned for cheating in one of the earlier qualifiers, and they found out that that was the same person. So Whether they're cheating or not, I don't know. That's not my job. There's people who get paid to do that and to look at that stuff. My job, again, is a caster and analyst. So I'm here to tell you what's happening. And that is RRXD is the 13th seed, which means they will be facing Gagoon Squad in the first round. Clam and the boys are now the 14th seed, meaning they will face 7 Deadly Sins in the first round. And now we have DevilMayCry as the 15th seed. They'll be facing Era Eternity in the first round. And we also have Vital Effort moving in at the 16th seed. They'll be facing tier 1. Let me know in the comments below who you guys think will win this tournament. What team is the underdog as well? So who do you think is going to win, and who do you think is the underdog? If you pick a team that is over the 8, that is 8 or higher in the seeding, and say they're an underdog, that doesn't count. I'm telling you that right now. So don't pick 1 through 8 as an underdog. 9 through 16 for the underdog. And then give me your favorite as well. Favorite could be any of the 16. Let me know who you guys think is going to win. Personally, I think this is the best tournament we're going to have so far. So many good teams, so many good players. And everyone has been grinding and just getting better overall. So I can't wait. Remember, January 9th, January 10th. You can watch it on CMG's Twitch page at CMG_Esports. You can follow them on Twitter at CMG_Rogue. And you can also follow me on Twitter at realBluTV. No E in blue. And don't forget, keep grinding and be safe, everyone.